they have the OUR, but the OUR is not doing their job, because if the OUR was on top of their game, there's no way that a company could rip you off $450 that quick without having to answer to anyone. Just like on YouTube, figure your brain some new food. Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, a special welcome to you. I ask that you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel. Today's video is titled Our Utility Crooks in Jamaica. And I'm talking about the corporate criminals in Jamaica. Jamaica has a long-standing reputation. Well, not Jamaica. The utility companies of Jamaica have a long-standing reputation of overcharging its customers. Enormous, ridiculous bills is a norm in Jamaica. A few weeks ago, I did hear about the incident where JPS came under fire because the Attorney General, Marlene Malahoo Forty, had a problem with her enormous bill. I kind of kissed my teeth on that one. Why? Because here's the thing. Jamaica Public Service has a long-standing history of sending people ridiculous bills, and Jamaican citizens have been complaining for decades, to my personal knowledge, and it has fallen on deaf ears. Administration after administration, decades after decade. So only when it affects politicians, only when it affects a member of the government, all of a sudden it is court-worthy. And for that reason, I was just like, foolishness. Why? It's not really foolishness, but what I'm saying is the double standard is so transparent that only when it affects the Attorney General of Jamaica, it is really a problem. But yesterday I came across an article that was affecting a Jamaican woman by the name of Doreen Graham out of Clarendon, who received a water bill for 63,576 Jamaican dollars, even though she has not had water for 11 years. Ridiculous. But is it surprising? To a lot of Jamaicans, they will say, no, this is no surprise. This is something that JPS, National Water Commission, does all the time. They send you ridiculous bills. So I've decided, let me do a video because I've got some testimonies of my own. And I'm sure that my subscribers has their testimonies of their own for being overcharged in Jamaica. So on my thumbnail, you will see that I've put the likes of Cable and Wireless, who is probably no longer around in Jamaica. I've got Digicel, I've got Flow, I've got OUR, who is the Office of the Utility Regulation. And the reason why I've got the Office of the Utility Regulations on there is because, in my personal opinion, I believe that the Office of Utility Regulation needs a Office of Utility Regulation above it. So what I'm saying, the office that should be auditing all these utility companies, they too needs to be audited, because it seems as if they're not on their job. So let me throw in my first testimony in regards to being overcharged ridiculously in Jamaica. Back in early 2000, I was living in Jamaica, and I had a Cable and Wireless contract where I had a home phone. It was a time when ICUS was around. ICUS was this ridiculously long number that you had to put in if you want to make overseas calls. After about 6 months of having this service, I realized that in my calculation, the bills were ridiculous. So I thought, you know what, let me disconnect this phone because I don't need this phone. I've got a mobile phone anyway. So after I disconnected the phone, I realized that I was still getting bills, and the bills was coming like $500 extra every month. And I was thinking, why am I getting a bill if I don't have the service anymore? So after about 3 months of this $500 bill that keep building up, I decided to call the company in rage, obviously, and ask them, why are you sending me a bill when I've long disconnected the service? The response was, even though you have disconnected the service, the line that runs outside that you initially ordered when you want the service still belongs to you. It was ridiculous. They was charging me for the line that was running outside on the street that was once connected to my residence. They're saying that's mine and I should still have to pay for it. So I asked them, please take it down. If I don't have the service, I don't need a line. So please take down the line. And that's how that bill stopped coming. My second experience was a bit later. Again, when I moved back to Jamaica and I was living there. I lived in a big house, to be honest, and the house was renowned because it was one of the biggest houses in the neighborhood. It was a 7-bedroom house, even though it was just me, my wife, and my son. We went away for a whole month. So we weren't at home for a whole month. And because, of Jamaica lights going out and suddenly coming back, and we didn't want the surge to affect the computer or the refrigerator or anything like that, we've decided let's disconnect all electrical appliances in the house. Anyway, by the time we came back about a week or so later, we got an electric bill. And the electric bill was ridiculous. I can't remember how much it was. But I remember storming into the JPS local office in that neighborhood and asked them, why are you sending me this bill? To my calculation, last month, my bill should amount to 0. The woman looked me blatantly in the face and she said, based on the history of your bill, this is what we call an estimated bill. And we estimated that this is what you would be using that month. It was ridiculous. They estimated my power usage even though I was not at home. It was ridiculous. And it's things like that that still goes on in Jamaica today. However, let me keep it fair and not just bash the utility companies, because companies like, say, JPS, I understand both sides of it. Ever since I was a child growing up in Jamaica, there's been two sides of it. There's been the people uptown who pay their utility bill, and there's the people downtown who majority of them steal electricity, go fishing, get an electric wire with a rock stone or whatever, and you throw it over there and you hook it up to the house. And a lot of freeloaders put a burden on JPS power plant. I get that. And what JPS tend to do is, instead of taking a loss, they shift the charges of the people who are stealing electricity onto the bills of the people who are actually metered and paying for electricity. That in itself is not right either way. It's not right for the people who are stealing the electricity, and it's not right for JPS to shift the cost onto the people who are actually paying for their electric. Same for the water. Water is one of those things in Jamaica that many Jamaicans will say they've been struggling for water, whether it's in the corporate area or outside the corporate area, and there's been months or weeks where sometimes the water comes, sometimes the water doesn't come. But the bill of the water and the calculation of this water still happens, and it still comes as if you are getting water consistently. And that in itself is theft on the part of the utility company. Personally, I don't know a lot about flow. Ever since flow existence, I've never actually lived in Jamaica. I've only visited Jamaica. I just put flow onto my thumbnail only because I'm almost sure that the practices have been adapted from one company to the next. Digicel, I have experiences with Digicel. When I was living in Jamaica, Digicel had this system where you could transfer credit. And I thought it was a unique system because I've been around the world and that was the first time I've actually seen where you could actually transfer credit from one phone to another person's phone. However, there were times that you would top up your phone, say you put $500 credit on your pay-as-you-go phone, and you probably make 2 or 3 calls and boom, without transferring any credit to anybody, your $500 that you just had is down to $50. There's no system in place. Again, they have the OUR, but the OUR is not doing their job, because if the OUR was on top of their game, there's no way that a company could rip you off $450 that quick without having to answer to anyone. I understand that Jamaica is a financial struggling country, and because of that, a lot of people have to come up with cunning ways to hustle, even though this is not a part of the utility. Then again, it is. I remember once I was at Washington Boulevard and Malines Road, where they had a gas station, and I just pulled up in the gas station, and there was a conflict between a taxi driver and one of the pump attendants. And the argument was the taxi driver had just put in like $2,000 worth of gas into his car, and by the time he drove up to Malines Road, he realized that his needle didn't move. In some creative way, the pump attendant had found a way to pump air into his tires. So what happened is the numbers actually move in regards to how much is going in, but there were no actual petrol that was going in his tank. There's a lot of little hustling like this. Again, if the OUR is on top of their game, if there's a auditing service in Jamaica that's on top of their game, then the Jamaica economy would start balancing out with the satisfaction of the day-to-day customer, the day-to-day citizens. This one is not going to be a long commentary today. It's just that I did see the $63,576 bill for Doreen Graham out of Clarendon, and I thought, let me echo her cry, because it's not only a crime against her, it's a crime against a lot of Jamaicans. But the thing that annoyed me the most, like I say, it became a court case when the Attorney General of Jamaica, Marley Malahu Forte, had a problem with her enormous bill. And I just think it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be the courts are there for one level of Jamaicans cry, but turn a deaf ears to the other Jamaicans who cry just because they're not a part of Parliament, or their bank book doesn't have a lot of zeros, or their name doesn't have any real reputation to it. It shouldn't be that way. Jamaica is for Jamaicans, and it's something that I've always said in my channel, and it's something that I will forever protest for and advocate for, because Jamaican people should feel at home in Jamaica. And I'm saying, when you have a corporate business, you have to be in preparation to take losses. And when it comes to Jamaica Utility Company, the NWC, JPS, or any of its phone or internet carriers, it seems as if instead of they taking the losses, they move where they've been cheated, the sum that they've been cheated, they move it over to the law-abiding paying customers. And before I close this blog, let me just say to the people who practice stealing electric, it is a dangerous thing to do. In my research for this particular video, I came across an image where the wiring of illegal wires on the pole, it looks so dangerous. You know, it's dangerous for the person or people that's actually going up there to put it up, and it's even more dangerous for the utility company when they send personnel to take it down. So I understand that desperate people do desperate things, but I'm just saying, be considerate of your own life and be considerate of the worker's life, who in turn have to come and take it down. Anyway, people, let me know what you think about this one. I look forward to hear your testimonies in regard of, have you been overcharged in Jamaica, and from which company, and how did it result? Did you get a refund? Did your bill get amended? Or did you lose utility service in the hand? As you know, on my channel, I appreciate thumbs up for my videos, or thumbs down. I appreciate agreement and disagreement, because at the end of the day, each one teach one. You've reached the end of my video, and that in itself is a support that I truly appreciate. And while I'm at it, I will take this time out to let you guys know other ways that you can support my channel. The first and simplest way that you can support my channel is by giving this video a thumbs up. And the second and most important way that you can support this channel is by hitting that subscribe button and subscribe to my channel and follow me through my YouTube journey. Other ways that you can support my channel is by going to my Teespring online store and buying some of my merch. And another way that you guys can also support this channel is by joining me in Patreon to give me a contribution to support what I do on YouTube and what I do to entertain you guys. Once again, I want to thank you guys for your continuous support and ask that you join me, Ian T. Sebast, on YouTube and see where my journey takes me. Until next time, people. Peace.